Hi everyone, Tracy from Australia with a new journal to share. This one's called Hallowed Gothic, and I've repurposed an old book cover to make my own. The back has a sheet of paper which I've embossed with a feather design. There's a dangle charm made out of black beads and silver on the side. The front also has a sheet of paper that I've embossed using this beautiful Spellbinders embossing folder. I've used a book plate and book corners. So the book is called Hallowed Gothic, and you can see how fabulous these papers are. They're by Calico Collage, and this is actually my design team project for October. So that tag has been made using an image from the kit, and then I've done my own card with that. These papers were absolutely amazing, and I've actually not done anything to most of the papers. I've chosen to make pockets and tuck spots on the back. I've made a lot of my own ephemera because I did have a lot of stamps that went with this theme. So I've done a lot of stamping in this journal. All of the pages have been tea dyed and edged with Tim Holtz walnut stain. There I've created a banner tuck and then popped in a little piece of parchment paper which I've inked and also used an edge punch on. This is a little half page. I've got 2 pockets there and then made my own ephemera. And that's a little ticket, which I'm very fond of, and then 2 tags which have been stamped. The papers that I've made the pockets out of are actually from my stash, and I believe they're 2 Kaiser Craft papers. So that's an image from the kit, and I've backed it onto tea dyed paper and used some fibre. I've chosen to use that image from the kit as a pocket and then put in my own tag. There's actually another pocket behind there which I've forgotten to look at. Tuck spot using which I've stamped and then made another large journaling card with an image from the kit. There's a bit of tea-dyed muslin. Look at that fantastic image. This is the center of the first signature. There's only 60 pages in this journal because it was very chunky. I've used an embossing folder there to make my own journaling card and then stamped it on the back. There's a bold pin and 2 little cards as well. That raven is actually an image that I've fussy cut from the kit. The little envelope has just a little journaling spot which I've stamped. Then I've made another small card backed onto black cardstock which you could write on with a silver pen. That would be really cute. That's actually a graphic 45 stamp. They're a lot of fun. You can change the sayings that go in the hand. This is an image from the kit that I've put onto tea-dyed paper, used a lot of muslin there and a flower at the top. Again, one of the fabulous pages, and then another card that I've created myself with an image from the kit. I just love these papers. They're outstanding. So much fun to play with. You could do so many things. This is one of my favorite pages. That's a bit of a flip up. Then I've got a little tuck spot, little envelope, and a little stamped card that you can write on. Again, some washi. That's a fabulous stamp that I recently purchased. It's from Stampendous, and of course it's got the raven and a quote from Edgar Allan Poe, and here he is. So this is one of the only pages that I've made a tuck spot on, and that was because it had Poe on it. I've made a little booklet there, and then a tiny little one that goes in behind that pocket. So I've made the tuck spot out of a Tim Holtz die cut that I own. On the opposite page, I've used some vintage music paper, cut out a doily from some bronze paper, and then made an envelope and a little card that I've stamped and then sewn around. A little card, a little envelope. Made the envelope, stamped it, made the card, stamped it. Okay, here's another card that I've made using a gorgeous set of stamps, sewn around that, some muslin and a button. So that's the end of the first signature, and you could see that I'd left quite a gap because they are chunky. There's the other tag that I've made using an image from the kit, and of course the word Gothic. So the first signature has Hallowed, and then the second one has Gothic. And I really like this little card that I've done. Put some glittery butterflies on a bit of fibre, and then down the bottom there's some muslin, some fibre, and a tiny little puffy spider. Thank you to Roz, my friend, who gave me those. They are so cute. A little pocket and a couple of tags that I've made. Those mason jars die cuts actually came from Roz as well, so thanks, Roz. Tickets that I've made and stamped, a little envelope which has a little booklet in it, and so the little book says a book of spells, which is a stamp that I own, and then I've made a little booklet with some scrappy paper. Then taking another image from the kit and use that as the basis for my own card. So some muslin, a button, a couple of stamps, and again another large postcard that I've made using embossing folder, backed onto tea-dyed paper. So the piece of ephemera there acting as a tuck spot, then card that and some cards that I've made. So plenty of places to journal in this one. Look at that, just fantastic. And I have actually used a little tuck spot there just because I couldn't resist a little envelope with the word boo in it. That is just too cute. This is the center of the last signature, and that's a Kaisercraft flocked paper that I've used to make the pockets, and then a card from the kit, and the large card is embossed and one that I've made myself. The large tag on the other side, again using images from the kit, and I've used muslin and some little bits and pieces to add interest to that one. Love that long stamp down the page. There's one of the images from the kit. I reduced it in size and used it to make a little booklet. Little image from the kit, again used it to make another little booklet. The bat image I've fussy cut, and that's part of the kit as well, and there's a little tag that I've made using a mason jar die cut and a stamp. Beautiful graphic 45 stamp there, again that flocked paper. Bag that I've put a little tuck spot on the front, and then this is a gorgeous image from the kit, and I've used that as a focal point for my own card with a little bit of layering. Image of Edgar Allan Poe from the kit onto a card. Some fibre and a little pumpkin there to add interest. This was a picture of Poe, another picture of Poe, and I've used a die cut around it to make a frame, and then it acts as a little tuck spot. A little die cut up the top there. Tuck spot using a key and a prima doily that I've stamped punched out. This is an envelope that comes from the kit, and rather than the 2 cards, I've just popped in a piece of parchment. I've used the 2 cards elsewhere in the journal. And then to finish off, Spellbinder's gate die and a little secret pocket and an image from the kit, which I've backed onto tea-dyed paper. And that's it. This was such a fun journal to make. I've really enjoyed it, and the kit is amazing to work with. Please check out Calico Collage on Etsy and see what they have to offer. Okay, thank you for watching, and please leave a comment in the comment box below.